Hi guys, Reporter here. Over the years, I've written a number of articles concerning my journey of faith. I put out a number of videos on my YouTube channel, documenting that journey and sharing a lot of the insights that I've had. And I've made numerous shares and comments on social media. Now, sometimes I encounter, great positive responses, but at the same time, I also get a lot of opposition. And some people feel that my teachings, are in opposition to what they believe, and they consider me a wolf in sheep's clothing, and they think that my doctrines are, my teachings are sending people to hell and threatening people's salvation and these other things. So with that, I wanted to put a quick video out pertaining to the issue of doctrine. Now, the first thing I need to say is I completely agree that sound doctrine, especially if you're a teacher of some kind, is very important. Titus 2:1, 1 Timothy 1:10, and elsewhere throughout the New Testament, Paul admonishes teachers to be sound in their doctrine. And I'm fully on board with that. I believe every teacher or any person who has some kind of platform should have good reasons to support why they hold the position that they hold. Now, with that said, I would also like to point out that doctrine is entirely for the earth. Whatever shape and form the afterlife might take, there's not going to be any debate and discussion around the issue of doctrine. In doctrine, again, is entirely for us. It's for our benefit, for here on the earth, and our dealings with other people, and our interactions with the church, and how we govern ourselves, and these other things. Now, some people somehow believe that if it is that we've come to faith, or we've had some kind of conversion experience, or whatever it is as your first entry into the as a believer, you can come to that position with no knowledge and no understanding of Christian doctrine, and have your conversion experience or salvation experience, or whatever you want to call it, but then somehow suggest that as you grow, it's now dependent upon how much your doctrine lines up with the truth, or how little errors you have in your teachings or something along those lines. But no, I will beg to differ. That the same the same grace that we encountered and believed in at our first experience, at our first believing experience, is the same grace and faith that keeps us. And anybody who suggests that somehow doctrine will undo your salvation is actually suggesting that we're not actually saved by grace through faith. We're saved by grace through faith plus correct believing. And anybody who knows my position on that, nobody has this thing completely figured out. And for that, I will point to the life of the Apostle Stephen. Now, Stephen was one of the 12 that walked with Jesus, and he was one of the elect chosen to go to the nation of Israel and preach about Messiah to the Jews, and warn them about the coming destruction from the Roman army due to their disobedience to the law. And everything that Stephen understood about the role of Jesus was in the context of first century Judaism. He never had any encounters of preaching to the Gentiles, as Peter later did in the house of Cornelius. He never read any of the writings of the Apostle Paul. In fact, he never even encountered the Apostle Paul. His only encounter with Paul approving of his stoning in the book of Acts chapter 7. So again, all of his understanding and all of his doctrine would have been in the context of Judaism, and it would be completely unrelated to any of the modern Christian beliefs that many people hold today. So I will challenge anybody to suggest somehow that, the Apostle Stephen is somehow a false prophet or a false teacher, seeing as he is not teaching any of the modern understandings that we have today about Christianity. And again, that brings me to my point that yes, doctrine is important, and context and these things in the Bible help us understand these things, but these things are never a salvation issue. No matter what position you hold on such things as the afterlife, end times, your Christology, your understanding of salvation, and all these other things, any believer out there who has put faith in Christ, they are never in danger of any kind of hell or torment or anything like that. It in no way jeopardizes your salvation. In fact, the only people who try to push that narrative are usually people who are afraid of being wrong. They don't want you to listen to other opinions that might contradict their own. And as such, they use the threat of hell or slippery slopes or wolf in sheep's clothing to deter their audience from actually hearing other opinions. So yeah, I just wanted to put this quickly out there. Never be afraid to ask questions, to hear different opinions. And the truth is, nobody has, perfect doctrine on the earth as it is. You're okay to have some beliefs that maybe not everybody agrees with, because none of that will ever affect your salvation experience in any way. So guys, I just wanted to put this quickly out there. I hope you enjoyed this message. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you know other people who might be struggling with this topic. And I hope to see you all in my journeys out there very soon. God bless you all, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.